We're back on Country Pocket. We've got Willy Vlautin. He is the songwriter for the Delines. The new album is Mr. Luck and Miss Doom. And the song you just heard was called Maureen's Gone Missing. You said Amy was the real inspiration behind putting songs on this album that feature small victories.
Yeah, like she told me, why can't a woman, you know, because we both grew up kind of with the grifter movies, and there's a lot of grifters in this record, and I did that for Amy because she and I both love those kind of old grifter, on the road crime, old '70s kind of movies. And she said, "Hey, can a woman just get away and with the money and really get away and don't kill her? Well, like let her win this time." And so I wrote this song, Maureen's Gone Missing, all from the viewpoint of a woman sitting by a pool, like in a apartment complex or a motel. I don't say which. And so I just pictured this whole story unfolding where all these people are looking for Maureen, and they're getting progressively agitated that they can't find her. And this woman's just sitting by the swimming pool, like sunbathing. And then you find out later on that she's the one that gave Maureen the car to get away. And so yeah, that was fun. That was a really fun one. And Sean Oldham's the drummer and the real band leader. He's an amazing musician. He and I worked on that beat and that kind of feel for a long time. But yeah, I always liked that one too.
The woman giving the car, was this, was it like a stick up or was this like an act of mercy?
It was Mercy. Is they're friends. They were friends, and she acts like she doesn't know Maureen, but they were friends. And then that's why she says, like, if my car doesn't break down, you'll be out of the state by noon. So I think it was just friendship, or she sees a fellow person in trouble, and she says, "Hey, you take my car and you get away from these guys." And I figured, Maureen probably ripped off some drug dealers, or somebody, some bad dudes, and gets away.
Yeah, you do between Mr. Luck and Miss Doom, all these things. You feature some genuinely happy moments for people who I guess society doesn't normally see, if they even see them at all, in a light of happiness. I know Amy's a big inspiration by that for that, but I know you have to have had some kind of goal in mind portraying these moments of love and joy.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody has moments of love and joy, um and I'm an old school Tom Waits romantic. Really, I love those old big romantic tunes. It's just when I get involved in writing them, usually a wheel comes off here and there. But I do love them, so I am a romantic at heart. That's why, like Her Pony Boy, was, and JP and Me really are big romantic tunes that just kind of, they kind of run out of gas, romance wise. But yeah, I'm a sucker for all that stuff too.
All right. Let's get to the end of the album. We heard Lorraine's story earlier, and even though you sort of uh, for the three songs prior to it, you've got romance, you've got women getting themselves out of terrible situations, and sort of getting away with a happy ending. You do not end the album on a particularly happy note.
Yeah, I mean it's a short song. I think it's one of Amy's most beautiful singing. And the horns. Our keyboard player, trumpet player, Corey Gray, he arranges all the strings and horns on the record. I mean, the guy's brilliant. And it's such a simple song. It's just piano and horns, and Amy singing this really simple song saying, "Don't go into that house, Lorraine." And she's begging her, like, "Don't give up, Lorraine. Like, don't go back into the house of selling drugs. Don't go back into the house of giving up. You got to just stay on track and don't go into that house." And you're not sure if she's gonna go in or not. And Amy's voice kind of hints at what might happen, because Amy's got is such a brilliant singer, and that she inhabits the world of these songs, and she's like an actress in a way, a narrator that just kind of holds your hand as you're going through these stories. And so yeah, it leaves in that kind of that hope that you're like, "Lorraine, I know it's hard. I know, just don't miss your bus, and maybe you'll get a raise, maybe you'll get a better job. uh you know Maybe you won't end up living by a freeway your whole life." That kind of idea. So, I hope Lorraine doesn't go into the house. I really do. I think about that all the time, and I'm always trying not to go into that house either.
Yeah, I got the pretty strong sense from that song that Lorraine went into the house.
Yeah, man, it does kind of feel like that. But see, I'm thinking she goes in for a second, then she runs out and says, "No, man, I'm not gonna go down that road again."
Um, why'd you choose to end the album on that revisitation and on that particular note?
I guess I was thinking, like throughout you have like Nancy and the Pensacola Pimp, a young woman, getting over on her pimp and breaking free and getting all this money, and all these people, and the woman in JP and Me, like a grifter couple, where the man starts losing his mind and she runs, and it's so many of the tales are about women that kind of sneak out, get out, or survive. And I think ending on this tone of like, don't give up. Don't give in to sadness, and don't give in to despair and hopelessness. um you know don't give up. But you don't know if any of these women who get out of these situations, Maureen included, or the woman in Her Pony Boy, who's a bit raggled and older when we meet her, you're hoping they all make it through. And I think ending on that idea of like, hey, you got to keep trying, and you got to keep watching where you walk. You got to not give in to the easy way out, because the easy way out usually hurts a lot worse later on.
Yeah, I guess I I took the song as more of a reality check. I took it as Lorraine might not be doing as well as some of these other women, but interesting that it was meant to be something so much more hopeful.
Maybe, or kind of like Left Hook, like Frasier, which is a woman's telling all these other women, like, don't go out with the guy that just got out of that has depression problems. Don't go out with the guy that's married. Don't go out with the guy that beats you up. All that stuff. And this is kind of the same woman saying, hang on, batten down the hatches, and don't give into it. But like, you're right, half the characters in there will give into it and will go into that house. We're just not sure which ones, and I'm hoping it's not Lorraine.
All right. Uh, I love the way even though they're your characters, you've got you've got some hopes for them, like you don't have any control over it. It's
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm half mad with that. But yeah, when I started writing, I didn't think of, especially writing fiction, I didn't think of publishing or anything like that. I didn't think about showing them to anybody. I just wrote them to kind of save my life. And so if I write about someone like Lorraine, you know, if she makes it, I'll make it, kind of thing. And if she doesn't make it, then that means I'm not doing so good in my personal life. And so I've always written this stuff to kind of bail me out of my own head and my own situations. And so yeah, man, I do love them. I do love them, and I'm hoping they win, because if they win, that means I'm probably winning. If they end up going to that house, I'm more like, I'm me personally, I'm probably going into that house, you know. So yeah, they take on their own lives, and they're all, to be honest, man, they're all little saints to me. Like Mr. Luck and Miss Doom, I just think of them forever, like bouncing a motel bed to death and being in love. And it just kind of helps me get through.
Well, beautiful album, man. I I feel I feel like Sean Baker would be proud.
Wow, that's a really nice thing to say. I mean, he's a brilliant filmmaker. So you just made me feel a little. I'm gonna walk a little taller for a couple hours now, man.
Willy Vlautin, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, Trevor, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.